Hi guys, so today's video is going to be a tutorial for this makeup look, which is pretty easy. It mainly focuses on the skin and getting that ultra flawless look to your skin with your foundation. So why don't we go ahead and jump right into it. So today I'm going to start off with a few skincare products, and I have been loving mixing two of my favorite little potions. This one is the Boscia Tsubaki Beauty Oil in the pink bottle. I've been mixing that with a drop of my Cover FX Custom Infusion drops in Vitamin A and Jasmine. So this is a concentrated anti-aging serum, and it's pretty cool because you can mix it with any skincare product you want. So a moisturizer or a cream, but I've just been mixing it with my beauty oil and I really like that. Then I'll take whatever is left over and kind of apply that to my hands. And as you can see, my favorite Too Faced Born This Way foundation in Natural Beige is a bit too dark for me right now, so I'm going to take a couple drops of my custom cover drops by Cover FX in the shade N20. And again, this is basically just a really concentrated pigments that you can add to any liquid. After I've mixed those two colors together, the new shade matches my skin tone much better, and I've been doing this for years, mixing different foundations together to get the coverage or the shade I'm looking for. But I love the cover drops because you can use such a tiny amount and it looks completely smooth and flawless on the skin. It looks incredible. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend that in. And after that, I'm ready to fill in my brows. So I'm going to start off with the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. And I like to run this through my eyebrows a few times just to get them to lay really flat against my skin. And today I'm going to fill them in with a powder because I'm going for a lighter, more natural look. So I'm going to take the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo in Caramel. I'm applying this wet with an angle brush, and I'm focusing mostly on the arch to start off, and then just blending the powder through the rest of my brows. Then I want to get to work on my eyeshadow. So I'm going to show you guys a really easy look. This has been basically my go-to everyday look lately. So I'm using my Too Faced Natural Matte Palette and picking up the color Heaven. I'm going to use that as my brow highlight. So I'm just dusting a light amount of that underneath the arch of my eyebrow. And then I'm actually going to switch up brushes to one that works really well for packing on color, and I'm going to set my foundation that I put on my lid with that eyeshadow as well. It's going to help with blending, and we're going to be doing a lot of blending for this look. Then I'm going in with this lighter warm brown color called Honey Butter, and I'm applying that with a big fluffy blending brush, and starting at the crease line, I'm going to blend that up towards my eyebrow. And I'm mostly sticking towards the center of my lid when I'm applying this color. And to darken everything up, I'm going to take this reddish brown called Strapless, and I'm going to apply that with a crease brush, and I'm focusing it on the curved part of my lid. So in that outer corner, just kind of going around the curvature of my eye and just building up that color. I'm applying this one low on the lid so that I can bring it in on the crease a little bit farther and kind of blend it down towards the lash line as well. This is really going to frame up the eye and accentuate the eyes, especially since we're only using two colors for the actual color part of this look. So I'm just going to continue to layer that one on and go back and blend as I go. Say baby, hey baby. And as the look continues to deepen, I like to go back and use smaller and smaller blending brushes because they're not going to remove as much of the eyeshadow as like a really big blending brush would. And then I want to take my custom cover drops in the same shade, and I'm popping that underneath my eyes to conceal my dark circles and brighten everything up. I'm using such a small amount, and this is going to be enough to highlight my entire face. You'll be able to see once I'm done. And usually I use about 3 products to get this same look: a color corrector, a brightener, and a concealer, not to mention highlighting powders. But This just has so much coverage to it, and it really makes you look so awake and refreshed. I love this stuff. I just think it completely changes your complexion. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend that around and you'll see exactly what I mean. And for somebody who usually has fairly dark circles and uses a very full coverage concealer, this is pretty impressive, I'm not gonna lie. So then I want to set my concealer with the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I'm using the lighter yellowy color and just popping that on underneath my eyes with a Makeup Forever setting brush. And then I want to dry down my foundation and set that as well. So I'm going to take the Benefit Hello Flawless Powder in the shade Honey. I'm patting a sheer layer of that around my face just where I need it, so mostly concentrating in the T-zone. Then I'm going to use this gel liner. Well, it's kind of like gel liner in a tube by Tarte. I think it is the Tarteist or Tarteist. I hope it's Tarteist because that's way more fun to say. But I usually just put a little bit on the back of my hand and work from there. Today I'm doing just a little mini wing just to accentuate my lashes. And when I do this, I like to extend the wing right at the from the center of my eye where my upper lash line directly meets my lower lash line, and I pretty much just paint the liner onto the outer half of my lid. Mascara is definitely a must, especially if I'm not doing any falsies, which I'm not. So today I'm using the Tarte Light Camera Lashes mascara. I'm focusing most of this product onto the outer half and the center of my lashes. And for the lower lashes, I'm going for a really wide awake look to my eyes. That's why I didn't put any eyeshadow on the bottom. So I'm gonna do something similar with my mascara, just sticking to the outer corner and kind of brushing it outwards to make my eyes look more open. For my bronzer today, I decided to go with my Beach Bunny Custom Blend Bronzer. It's just a really nice natural tone, and it gives your skin a little bit of radiance. So I'm going to be applying that just all over, a light amount all over to get some warmth to my complexion and also kind of add more structure to my face. When I'm going light on my eyeshadow and my lip color, I like to go a little heavy on the face color. Not necessarily heavy, but just have that be a focal point of the look. So I'm not afraid to use a little bit more bronzer and a little bit more blush. For my blush color today, I'm going to be using a really pretty peach, and it's one of my favorite blushes. I use this one all the time. It is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush in the shade Captivating. It's gorgeous, and it builds to a really beautiful high impact color. So I always like to go back and blend this one out because it really shows up. And because the focus of this look is on the skin, I want to go for more of a dimensional face color. I'm going to be using Champagne Pop by Becca because this one isn't the lightest and the brightest. It has more of that golden peachy tone to it. So again, it's just going to emphasize the skin even more. I'm going to brush a light amount of that one on and then take Moonstone, which is a lighter, brighter champagne color. I'm using that to highlight the inner tear ducts, and I'm going to actually run that under the length of my lower lash line and use it to highlight smaller spots like my Cupid's bow and the bridge of my nose. Today I decided to try a new lipstick, but it is definitely in a color that I tend to lean towards. It's this really pretty pinky color, and this is the Faced La Creme lipstick in the shade Taffy. And it's really nice because it has some shine to it, so it looks like you used a gloss too, but you really don't have to, and it smells amazing. Just saying. So that is it for this look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I love looks like this for every day because when you really focus on your skin and even that out, everything else just kind of falls into place. So thank you so much for watching, and I love you guys, and I'll see you very soon in my next one. Bye!